I'm completely transparent and open about my mental health journey and my childhood traumas. But what pisses me off the most is when I talk and tell people about this, is their unsolicited advice. And specifically, when I tell them that I'm not talking to my family, is, you should forgive them. They did the best they could. You know what? Fuck you all. Because you don't know my situation. You have no idea what I've been through. And you giving me that advice, or anybody trying to give me that advice, is stupid. I reject it. Maybe in a few years or in a decade, I may forgive them, but I'm not there yet. So how dare a person tell me who hasn't been in my shoes, tell me, you know, just forgive them, forgive your parents. They did the best. No, they didn't. They did the best they could for them so that they could feel better. They never did the best for me. They may think that they tried, but they didn't. How do I know that? Simply because there was a big difference between how they treated me or my sister. You might think about this as that they learned, but they could have learned the same thing with me. And what they've always been telling me is like, this is what we knew. This is the only way we were brought up. It's like, you know, you have books, you could read books, you could talk to people, you could go to classes that would tell you how to deal and treat a child, but they never did. And then when people tell me, they did the best they could, no, they didn't. If they tried at least a little bit, I would have been in a way better position than I am right now. I would still be in therapy and I would still be going through therapy, but it would be a lot less extreme and a lot less traumatic in trying to deal with my trauma. And when people tell me this, I just smile. I usually tell them, yeah, yeah, okay, whatever. I'm not gonna talk to you anymore because you don't get it. You never were in this position. You may have had even like a nice childhood, or just when people when you can see in the people's eyes that they're like, you're not talking to your parents anymore, but they're your parents. Like, yes, I shared my genes with them. The only thing they did to me was give me birth and did the bare minimum of not pretty much killing me when I was growing up, but that's it. This was their duty to do the best that they could for me. Otherwise, they never should have had me. I was an accidental child, but still, there's been abortion. Fine. I would not know that I didn't exist. And when people talk about this, like, oh, be the better person, you have that 12-step process or whatever it is, and one of them is forgiveness. Okay. I've read the books and listened to some videos about this that eventually I forgive them or that you should forgive them. Okay, cool. Not there yet. So don't rush me or don't be a wise ass on why I shouldn't or why I should forgive them. The funniest thing is like I always know when I'm talking to somebody, when I'm telling them about this, is who actually went through similar trauma, at least the depth of the trauma than I did, because none of those people ever tries to correct me in saying, you should do this, you should do this. They just ask the questions and they let me answer them. And then they may share their own view or their own experience. That's it. Never tell me, hey, you should forgive them, or this is what you should do, or this is what is supposed to happen. No, they know that this is a journey. They may be in front of me, they may be in the same place as I am, or even at the beginning of the journey. The people who really care about so me and my well-being never tell me forgive your parents because that shit ain't happening anytime soon. And they know it. And they know that they're at fault for the way and the traumas that I had as a child. They I can guarantee you that they don't agree with this, or that they just don't want to think about this, what everything that they've caused me, because that would mean that they would be acknowledging that they did something wrong, because that's definitely not what my dad does. My dad is never wrong. He's always right. Narcissistic behavior, 101. And my sister as well. And yeah, that's me. I am not going to forget. Not right now. Maybe later. And last piece of advice I have to anybody that is thinking of talking about their mental health and all of that, get a group that will understand you. Be part of a group that will understand. Even if you're just listening to me right now, just be there and understand that whenever somebody's trying to force their opinions on you, specifically about mental health, trauma, and everything else regarding this, they're not your ally. They don't mean you well. They may mean you well, but they just don't understand because they're coming from a completely different viewpoint. Don't take it to heart, and definitely don't follow their advice, because usually it's one of the stupidest advice they can ever give you.